Part of my life in Toronto was that I was very comfortable. That comfortable feeling is what destroyed me. And I don't want to be comfortable anymore. I don't want to. I want to venture. I want to date women. I want to climb a mountain.
So this is Dan of Vagabond Awake. And today we have Richard on the channel. Richard.
Thank you so much.
It's great
Pleasure to meet you. So excited to be here with you.
Richard, I appreciate you coming on the channel. So Richard, where are we sitting right now? What's your home country? And how long have you been here?
Okay. Right now we're in 𝗏𝗲 City. Right in 𝗂𝐻. And that's like the next island south of Manila. You just take a flight over, and in 45 minutes you're here in 𝗏𝗏. And this is a very small community. Well, I come from Canada, and I lived in Toronto. And Toronto is a really big city. So just the center core of Toronto, we're talking like 4 million people. Just the center of it. Coming to 𝗏𝗏 City to 200,000 people, such a nice thing. You know, I've been here for 6 months.
And you came here from Mexico.
I did.
How long were you there before?
Okay, so Mexico, I was there for 1.5 years.
Okay.
I tried Mexico, and ever since I came here, I'm like, oh, this feels so nice. Like the Philippines has a different vibe. And that vibe really is my kind of like, it's my tone. It's my vibration.
Okay.
So I'm really enjoying 𝗏𝗏 City.
And what are some of the differences? Like some people say it's a little cheaper here.
You know, I don't want to bash Mexico or whatever, but it can get dangerous.
Okay.
It's Mexico. And even though you're in kind of like safe havens, I was living in Oaxaca and San Cristobal, Chiapas. These are the most beautiful places you can go to in Mexico. It wasn't as bad as Colombia, and I lived there for 1 year. Now, the other thing about Mexico is that in those safe havens like Oaxaca, you know, it is safe. Those safe havens become very pricey because they know that, and a lot of expats are going there to do that, you know, raise the price. Now, the rental is getting, and the food is getting out of hand. You know, obviously a lot lower than Canada, but higher than what I want to pay for.
So how did you end up in the Philippines? What was it that brought you here?
I was done with Mexico, and I was like, I just want to try something new. And I scoured the internet, and I found Michael, who's the Filipino life, you know, the vlogger. You know who he is, obviously.
I've interviewed him before. And he has the Canadian beaver here in town. I
get more spiritual as I get older. Like just meeting you, like you sitting behind me at the restaurant, I feel like somehow that journey, all the right people are somehow surrounding me. It's the first time that's ever happened, but I'm very aware of it now. You know, so being here in 𝗏𝗏, as difficult as my life is, that I'm not retired. So I'm doing something very different to live here in the Philippines. So at the same time, I'm very grateful for everything. So
when you first left Canada, what was the thinking you had that made you finally pull the trigger to leave Canada? What was that about?
So I was a video editor and a cinematographer in my own company. And I did that for a very long time. We did music videos, documentaries. I had the best job ever. I worked for myself. I got 20 people working for me. I got a whole staff and all that kind of stuff. So my life was really great. To shrink it all down, of course, when COVID came, it put a wrench in everyone's life. So we're shooting like really big scenes for this documentary for Discovery Channel. COVID came, and within 2 weeks, I get a phone call from the producer at Discovery, and she says, well, we're only allowed to have 20 people on staff. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So that was the first one. And then the second phone call was like, well, we're all quitting, and we canceled the production. I had a $6 million contract with Discovery Channel, and that was ripped right out of my life just like that. It just ripped something out of my heart. It was like, I felt like my life was just going down this crazy path, and I didn't want to go there. Selling the business, having my own savings account, and then selling the condo, I had a big amount of money. And this was my opportunity to finally leave. You
mentioned that you're in the editing business.
That's right.
In a few minutes, we'll get to your channel. You have a YouTube channel. I've watched your videos. They're spectacular.
Oh, thank you.
We'll talk about that. But have you done any dating here yet?
Oh, yeah. Actually, on my channel, I have 2 videos. And those videos, I wanted to show them. Because these were really nice women that I met here. And I really, really liked them. I filmed another 2 videos, so that's 4 dates. I've been here 6 months, okay? So give me some time, you know? The other 2 girls, we made videos, but they didn't coincide with my channel. Okay, so yeah, I've had at least 4 on video that I've dated. And right now, I really like a girl here, and we get along really well, but we're not pushing it. So what I noticed here in the Philippines is that if you try too hard and be too pushy, you're not gonna get too much.
Great.
Yeah, because here in the Philippines, you gotta remember that these are island girls. And I think a lot of guys that come here and they bring their kind of like their like dating ways from the Western world.
Yeah.
That doesn't work here.
Yeah.
Here, you're gonna get women just by relaxing, being yourself, and just getting to know them, just like the old days.
Yeah.
And that is the part where this is what I really like about dating here, is that you don't have to be a pushover. So yeah, I've been quite successful with dating.
Yeah.
And but the ones that you're going to see on my channel, and I have another beautiful date happening on Saturday. She's gorgeous. This is going to be a nice video. You know, I'll be posting the ones that I want on my channel. But yeah, I'm doing like quite a bit of dating here. So
that's great. And I like that tip about just being yourself, being relaxed, taking it easy, island life. That's a great tip.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because they've seen it all. The people come here from different countries or bring their different things.
Yeah.
It's like, don't worry about, you know, you're going to have to resonate with the Filipino culture.
Is online dating better, or do you meet more successfully in person? What's your experience with that?
I don't know. I find online dating a little bit crass. Here's what I am, and these are all my pictures, and look at me. And then like, I think it takes away, personally as a man, it takes away your masculinity. Instead, I approach women, and that's a very masculine energy when a man actually approaches her and goes, hi, you know, deep voice. My name is Richard. I'm from Canada. Nice to meet you. I just thought you were very lovely. Yeah. Something, again, very easy. That's going to be way better than online dating. You're going to have to meet the girl anyway. Meanwhile, you should have just walked up to the girl who was smiling at you across the street. So online dating, 0. Approaching women that smile at you, 100%. If you mean women properly, the Filipino way, just really relax and like the 1980s, very easy. Get to know her. Girl in my one video, the really beautiful girl, we went to the beach. You know, she's 21. We met, but we spoke on the phone for about 2 weeks. You know, after we met, you know, I introduced myself. So we got to know each other, but we did it the right way. That's Dad's Bod's rule. Meet the girl live.
That's the name of his channel.
Dad Bod goes abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things that was very remarkable when we met was you were telling me what it cost you per month to live here.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of expats come over here and they talk about you need $2,000 a month, you need $3,000 a month, and other ones talk about lower numbers. And yours was one of the lowest numbers I've heard. And so, like, tell us, what are some of your expenses, so people have an idea? Maybe not everyone needs to come over with a lot of money or spend a lot of money, even if they have it.
Because I have experience. I lived in Colombia for a year and a half, then Mexico for a year and a half. So I got used to going around town, looking for rentals, going to markets, finding the prices. I'm that type of guy where I just go out every day and I just go to a different store. So here in the Philippines, you can buy something for expensive, which is not expensive, right? Like expensive in the Philippines, and you can buy it for 1/10 of the cost. So my mission always is when I come here is I try to find the lowest price. When you first come to the Philippines, don't expect to pay the lowest price. You're gonna have to do like a little bit of work, you know, you need a little bit of elbow grease. When I first came here, I was going to the supermarket and I was paying a lot of money for food. Now, I go to the people's market and I get the cheapest vegetables. You can, like a bag of vegetables for, what's 300, like, what is that, $11? Like, an astronomical number, like really, really cheap food. I was renting at a hotel when I first came here. So that was expensive because I didn't know anybody. So when you plant your feet here for a little while, you're gonna meet your friends. And I finally met Harry, and Harry had a room available for less than half the price I was paying at the hotel. Inch by inch, I just brought everything down. And just to like make a super long story short, I pay at minimal $400 American a month.
So that includes your rent, your groceries,
and my going out money.
Wow.
Yeah, and my going out money is actually the most expensive thing I have going on. My rent is $170, and then my food at home is about $90 a month.
Wow.
And my going out money is $200 and above. Now, it's not like I don't like, you know, I can't keep up with a budget. I'm like the worst. So I say 400 at the minimal. But you know, you never know. You're gonna go meet a pretty girl. You want to go on a date. Maybe you want to take a boat out and go see an island. You know, so there's gonna be, you know, cost on top of that 400. But if I literally did nothing and just hung out here and swam every day, you just chilled out, and that includes beer, by the way, $400. Yeah, I can live on $400, and that's good. And I've been doing my research. I can actually drop that down another 100 if I want wanted to. If I wanted to.
Wow.
There are other places I have opportunity at, but you know what? I really like Harry, and if you got a good roommate, don't lose that.
Yeah.
Friendships are very important here in the Philippines. I think that would be probably the single best thing that you need to do here. A lot of guys want to come here and meet women. Meet your friends first. You'll meet a girl and it won't work out, and you're just alone again. You're just alone. You're always alone. So surround yourself with good friends, and then surround yourself with beautiful women.
400 is basic, relax, hang around the house, the beach. By the way, the beach is 30 feet.
My backyard, my front yard actually. Yeah, the beach.
There's
There's the backyard, there's the front yard. Yeah, it's 30 feet away.
Yeah.
Get up in the morning. Doesn't matter what time it is. Hi, Asia.
Yeah.
And 5 o'clock in the morning, the sun comes up, the most beautiful sunrise.
Yeah.
And go for a swim, meditate right there in the water. You take siestas here, which I love, which is like have an early morning, have a really big breakfast. I do some internet work.
Yeah.
And then around 11, I'm like,
Yeah.
go on the hammock. Everyone's taking siestas here. And then we'll walk to the Canadian Beaver, play darts. They all congregate there. So we drink beer, we have our hamburgers. They got a big TV, so I want to watch hockey. I'm Canadian. I want to watch football. They got a big TV there, and a nice beer, and we're good to go.
So in a month where you go to the island and you met a girl, gone a couple days, what's like a higher end? Like not just the basics, but a few more things. What's an example month of?
So my extra costs would be excursions.
Excursions?
Yeah, and those vary.
Yeah.
Like I went on an excursion to a beautiful island just off the coast of 𝗏𝗏 here, and that cost me 500 pesos. And what's that, like?
$10.
$10.
$10.
Yeah, and I had a whole day there. Now, when I do an excursion with a girl, that's a little bit different because, you know, she's a human being. She needs to eat.
Yeah.
You know, if she needs transport, I got to bring her to the location, right?
Yeah.
So there's things like that. I do have a bike. Like I got to pay for gas every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And gas is really cheap. My tank for 2 weeks is 500 pesos. It's $10 every 2 weeks. Here in the Philippines, you got clear roads. Then those roads can get a bit bumpy. But if you get an ADV, that's an adventure bike. Those dirt roads, man, that bike just eats it right out. You know, so it's good.
Yeah.
So I have over 140 interviews with expats living overseas. For some reason, YouTube always puts the one in the feeds that are living for 1,000 or less per month. But that's not a typical expat. Typical expats spend more like 2,000 a month, some over 3,000 a month. And you'll see that in my YouTube playlist of expats. If you go on a steady diet of Western accommodations, Western food, and expat bars, it's almost impossible to get under 2,000 a month. And don't leave your home country until you have significant savings in case of an emergency. Many locals know how to live cheaply in their home country, but very few expats do. You have to put your feet on the ground before you will know what your life costs overseas.
Don't come to the Philippines if you think it's going to be...
It's not going to be that easy. It won't be, because if it's your first time being here, you're going to have culture shock. You're going to have to get used to Filipino people. You're also going to have to get used to being alone at first. If you're an introvert, you're going to have to make your friends. You're going to have your challenges. You know, you're going to be missing your family. You're going to be missing your friends. So when you come here, firstly, it's not going to be as easy as you think. Give it a little bit of time, relax, and put that in your head. That's going to happen. It's going to take time, and don't push things here. Don't push people here. Don't push friends. Just learn the ways, and then once you do that, everything becomes very, very easy for you.
Do come to the Philippines if you're looking for...
Yeah, that's a tough one. I was going to say women, but it's not. When you're coming from a Western society, you might not know it, but, well, first of all, you're living in a bubble. That's where you are there. You have all your stresses. You have family problems. You have marital problems. You have girlfriend problems. You got friendship problems. You got debt. So much pressure on you. You might not realize it. So you take a nice big break for 6 months and do nothing, and start peeling away the nonsense in your head. And also, don't bring that stuff here to the Philippines too. I think it's really important that you do a transformation. It's an opportunity for you to do that, because here is very patient, it's very kind, and you'll be walking up and down those beaches, but there'll be no one in sight. You'll just be there with you and the mountains, the water, the sky, fresh air, the fresh fruit. This will probably be the single best thing that you've ever done in your entire life, to put yourself in that transformation phase. Because a lot of guys, they come here and they're coming here for the woman. You can get into a lot of trouble doing that, you know, like you really got to take your time with that. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. So be kind to yourself, be kind to people, start from a nice place. So come here to do that. But if you want the woman, go for it, okay? If you're here for 2 weeks, go have fun, okay?
If your phone rang right now, one of your old friends from Toronto said, hey, come on back. We have this 200K or 100K job for you. Here's what it sounds like. Would you be on the plane?
Never, ever. I'm done. No. I had a big realization that it was that we're all going to die. You've heard it. You have heard it. We've all heard it. I wish I did that when I was younger.
Yeah.
It's a repeating message that you hear in all your life. We could all resonate with this one thing. So I'm 49 and I thought about that. My family's life, like what? It's 70 years old to 80. In that time range is kind of like when we kick the bucket.
Yeah.
So I'm almost 50, so I'm past that part. So I realized I want to have adventure no matter what it costs. I will never put myself into an office space where there's no windows and everyone is on the edge, and you couldn't pay me enough money to go work in an office. I would rather sit here and be a bum on this island, build a cabin in the woods, learn how to fish. I would never do it. I did that, you can have one life, you can have two, or you can have 5 lives. So it's up to you what you want. My first life is gone. I removed that part. You shouldn't go back there. So life is so short that you have to think this way, where you need to make transitions in your life. Part of my life in Toronto was that I was very comfortable. That comfortable feeling is what destroyed me. And I don't want to be comfortable anymore. I don't want to. I want to venture. I want to date women. I want to be alone. I want to climb a mountain. I'm taking my life very seriously now. I'm not going to be the guy at 65 saying I wish I did it. I'm going to be the guy at 65 with an even bigger dad body, sitting in a pond with a flute, okay? And people are going to ask me, can you tell me your story? And I'm going to go, sit down, good sir. Let's have a conversation. I'm going to be that guy.
Tell us about your channel, what it is, what's your message going to be there?
A big part of my life was just work, and it was taken away from me. Passionate about dating feminine woman. Feminine, by the way, okay? Very specific woman. And I also wanted the great adventure. The thing that I've always been thinking about all my life. I know one day I'm going to travel somewhere. I know one day I'm going to do this.
You're a character in a novel that's your life, and you're in charge of it now.
You have to write your own stories, and you have to write your own destiny. Whatever happens in your life, I'm sorry to say, it's your fault. You didn't take the chance. You didn't walk the line. You didn't go on the wire. 98% of the people do that in the world, because we're all going to die. And you know what? I realized too, I just don't care. I just don't give a, I'm not going to say the word. I don't care. And whatever happens, happens, because that's the real adventure. That's the real one. It's not future forecasting what's going to happen. It's, I live in the present moment and exactly where I want to be. And whatever comes in front of me, I will deal with it then. So now I have no more worries.
Well, everyone, go over to Dad
Bod Goes Abroad.
It Goes Abroad. Check out Richard's editing. Blew my mind. Such a great editor. Richard, thanks for coming on the channel.
Thank you so much, Ed. I really appreciate it.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
The link to the Dad Bod Goes Abroad YouTube channel is in the notes below this video. And grab my free ebook if you'd like to receive a 50% discount when my Retire Overseas course goes on sale. To watch hundreds of other expats tell how they started their personal adventures overseas, click the video in the upper right-hand corner of your screen right now.